morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, I could see that you're doing well. You look good today. May I ask siguro Mayor what motivates her to come today?
What motivates me to come to school today is that learning always excites me. And so I feel so much enthusiasm about learning today's topic. So because I think it will give me a vital knowledge about cost, sales, and profit of projected projects.
That's a very comprehensive answer. You are really well motivated to come, and I'm so proud of that. And I'm really delighted to hear what you have to. Okay, so based on the attendance in our class seat plan, everyone is present. So I hope that you will guys all learn on our topic to be discussed for this session. Okay, so let's start. Our topic is on cost terms, concepts, and applications. Since we are under cost accounting and control, I believe that the cost that you will learn today will not be your first time to meet these cost terms, concepts, and applications because I believe when you had taken your senior high school, you have encountered these terms already. And even in your intermediate accounting subjects, you had already encountered these terms. So to start with, we have the objective for this session. The first objective is to identify cost terms, concepts, and classifications. The second one is for us to explain. Explain components of product cost, direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. And of course, for every section, we do always have problem solving in all your major subjects. Since this is your major subject, then we'll also be solving problems appertaining to these various cost terms. Okay, so last meeting, we were able to discuss the part 1 of our topic in this course, cost accounting. No? And on the part 1, you were able to gain knowledge on the definition and basic concepts or the definition per se of financial accounting and cost accounting. Yeah. So may I ask from the seat plan, from Ms. Diana. Ms. Diana, what is financial accounting again? Just to give a wrap up or a recap of what we had discussed last week.
Financial accounting is a branch of accounting that involves the process of recording, summarizing, and presenting the company's financial transactions through financial statements.
Yes, thank you very much. You mentioned about financial statements, and when enterprises are presenting their financial statements, they are to follow and required to follow the different PRFSS and the PASS, the Philippine Accounting Standards and then the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. That is the guidelines in the preparation of financial statements. So every enterprise, be it a small and medium enterprise, a micro enterprise, because there is also a pertaining standard for micro enterprises, and even corporations are bound to follow what was stated in the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. That is our legal basis. Okay, so that's financial accounting. What about cost accounting? Cost accounting, Jen, Miss Jennifer.
Cost accounting is the recording and analysis of the company's cost structure. It involves assigning cost to products like the company's products and services and other activities of the company.
I think you already know what cost accounting is. Are we to continue? Okay, so kidding aside, thank you very much for the very comprehensive answer, Jen. Okay, so cost accounting is a system, as we mentioned last time. It is a system that deals with recording. It's the same with financial accounting. It deals with summarizing as well, and it deals with interpreting. What are we to record? What are we to analyze? What are we to interpret? Definitely those things that was mentioned by Ms. Jen. We are to interpret, we are to record, to analyze, and to interpret cost, the details of the cost on raw materials, since we are talking about cost accounting, no, it has a process flow chart. The raw materials, the cost of the labor, and the cost of the manufacturing overhead that were necessary or that were incurred in the transformation of goods and services into finished product. Okay, so that is cost accounting. Now we dig deep. That's the part 1, the introduction. Now we are on the part 2. Okay, so take a look at the objectives. So this is our objectives. So our part 2 concerns us with topics that have something to do with the cost terms, the concepts and applications. And the second part of this one is, the planning and then the controlling relative to those necessary costs. It involves analytical procedure, but since we only have 1 hour for this subject, then definitely we would take that on the next meeting. The analytical procedures relative to how do we predict and forecast using these costs. Okay? And yeah, so right now, the first cost that we will be encountering is the manufacturing costs. I believe that you know this. When we talk about manufacturing costs, it always talks about direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. You know what? These costs are very vital for you to understand so that you could survive this course, cost accounting and control. Without your deep knowledge on this, most definitely, you might be confused and along the way you might encounter problems. So I suggest that as early as now, you are to be familiarized with these costs as to whether they are direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. These costs are necessary in producing a product that is to be sold to the customers. Okay? And what are direct materials then? So direct materials are resources. These are resources that you can easily track in the product. Okay? You can easily see them. So you have your table. It is made out of wood. It is made out of steel. Then definitely those are the raw materials in making the final product of that table. I believe that you have going to restaurants, do you? Yes, of course. We love the food, correct? Ayan. So, direct materials, there are the ingredients of making the dish or the meal. Okay. So, another example of raw materials is when you do have a vehicle and you want to travel conveniently and you love sounds. The radio installed in the vehicle is also a direct material. It's not only an accessory, but if it is built in within the vehicle, then it is going to be under the direct materials. Built in siya. Ayan. Direct labor. Direct labor cost pertains to the wages or the salary of those people directly involved in the production process. So when you go to a restaurant, and you have your menu or you have your dish with you, and the salary of the chef or the cook who creatively cooked your meal is or will be recorded under the direct labor. Okay, so direct labor siya. In cases of car assembly, the salary and the wages of those who are in the assembly line will be included in the direct labor. Any questions so far? And so clear pa as of now. And the third cost under the manufacturing cost is we call the manufacturing overhead. Okay. These are the costs that we really cannot trace in a product. No? We cannot see in the product as the tangible one, no? But those are necessary in coming up with a finished product. Say for example, what food do you love over here? What food do you love, Randy? chicken daw. Okay, so in the making of fried chicken, buttered fried chicken, definitely you need heat. Yeah, the cost of the gas used in cooking is classified to be under the manufacturing overhead. You cannot see it in a fried chicken, but definitely that is necessary for it to become finished product and readily become edible. No? Yeah. So hindi siya directly traceable. That's manufacturing overhead. May mga nabanggit dito. So we just employees who are not directly involved in the production work. It may fall under manufacturing overhead. Say for example, maintenance workers and janitors in a production facility. It is always a product cost. Any cost included in the production or any cost incurred in the production facility are always considered to be a product cost. Salary of the janitor in the production facility, you have to bear in mind that that is part of a product cost, part of the manufacturing overhead. Okay, I hope that's clear. Because you will be using that in your feasibility study. Yes. And also materials used to support the production process is part of the manufacturing overhead cost. Like this one is mentioned, the lubricants, you have the cleaning supplies used in the automobile. Bakit kayo car naman yung example nyo? Ano siguro, I was thinking of, buying a car. Probably, not quite sure about that. Okay. So, yes, we proceed with the classification of costs. Okay. The classification of costs, based from what was mentioned a while ago, are still focusing on the three. Yeah. But when you add up direct labor to the direct materials, we call it as a prime cost. Prime cost. Can you say that? Prime cost. Okay. When you include direct labor with the manufacturing overhead, you call it conversion cost. Can you say that again? Conversion cost. Okay. So that is a conversion cost. But when you add up the three, direct materials, the labor, and the manufacturing overhead, we call it manufacturing cost. Do not forget that. I hope na hindi kayo na-confuse dyan. No? So what about non-manufacturing cost? We've been talking about manufacturing cost. Now we deal with non-manufacturing cost. Ayan. Non-manufacturing costs are always incurred, not only the manufacturing costs, for companies like merchandising and manufacturing companies earning profit. So they will be definitely incurring marketing or selling costs and other administrative costs. These are non-manufacturing costs. If there is a product cost, we also have a period costs. And this selling cost, administrative cost, and non-manufacturing costs that we are talking about always fall in the period costs. And this cost will go straight to your income statement or your statement of comprehensive income. And your product cost will always fall under your balance sheet or your statement of financial position. But of course, if it is already a cost of goods sold, it will go to your income statement. Is that clear so far? Yes. So later on when you graduate, and become a certified public accountant, and become the manager in a certain firm, in an accounting firm, your salary will not fall under the product cost. It will definitely be under the period cost. So administrative cost po yung magiging salary. Okay, so that's a period cost. It's not recorded under the balance sheet accounts, but definitely it will be recorded in the income statement accounts. Questions so far? None? So clear pa po tayo? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So product cost versus period cost, nabanggit ko na kanina. Ito slide na to. But just to emphasize, do not worry, I will give you the slide later on, a copy of the slide, an e-copy, a PDF file. Okay. Just to give an emphasis and what's the other one? Manufacturing overhead. And when we talk about period cost, we always deal with your administrative cost and marketing or selling costs very well. Hindi naman kayo inato? Hindi pa. Okay. So, again, the product cost will fall under the balance sheet or your statement of financial position. Your period costs will fall under the be recorded directly to your income statement or your statement of comprehensive income as what you have learned in your intermediate accounting 1, 2, and 3. So let us have a quick check whether you understood what we are talking about in this session. I will be reading the question twice, and you have your index card with you. You write your answer and paste it later on what are your answers, okay? So I'll give you 30 seconds, but I will be reading it twice. Okay, so the first question, which of the following costs would be considered a period cost rather than a product cost in a manufacturing company? Okay, again, which of the following costs would be considered a period rather than a product cost in a manufacturing company? Letter A, manufacturing equipment depreciation. Letter B, property taxes on corporate headquarters. Letter C, direct materials costs. Letter D, electrical costs to light the production facility. Or letter E, sales commission. Okay, so your 30 seconds starts now. Anong easy lang, no? Yeah, so let's try to analyze the problem and then choose your best answer. Okay, 30 seconds is up. Could you raise your answer? We'll see what is your answer. Your answer is letter E. Somebody answered letter B. Somebody answered E. The correct answer, what is being asked? So you may put down your answers. What is being asked is for you to identify the period costs, right? Okay. So period cost ang tinatanong among the choices which fall under the period cost. Manufacturing equipment depreciation, is it a period or a product cost? It's a product cost. It's part of a manufacturing overhead cost, correct? What about property taxes on corporate headquarters? Why did you say that it's a product cost? Headquarters. Is it part of the manufacturing facility?
Yes.
It's the headquarter. Is it part of the manufacturing facility? When we say headquarter, who stays there? Mga boss. Yeah, mga administrator. So does it fall under the product or the period cost? It falls under period cost. Yes, headquarters yan. Hindi yan yung manufacturing facility, hindi yan yung production plant or production facility. It falls under period cost. Okay, what about direct materials? Is there any question with that? Nah, definitely that will fall under the product cost. What about electrical costs to light the production facility? It falls under product cost, that's very correct. Letter E, sales commission is product or a period? Period cost. Okay, so the answer there is B and E. You know, in a quiz B, there are confusing items, and this is okay. So you have to analyze. That question. But in the board exam, yeah, because nobody knows what really is transpiring kasi kahala na sa administrator or commissioner, no? In cases, in cases of this two, you just try to encircle 2, but accordingly, ang sabi naman nila is invalid pag dalawa yung magiging sagot mo sa board exam. But so far, in our end, in our understanding of the concept, is this question clear? And the answers are clear.
Yes.
Are there confusing part? So far, none. Yan. So headquarters yun na, hindi yung production facility. Kaya any cost, property, taxes involved, straight, kasi yung commission-trace traceable siya sa headquarters. Definitely it's a period cost. Is there any question, Oliver? Parang it seems you're not convinced. Nah, it's clear. Okay, thank you very much, Oli. Ayan. On this slide, it particularly distinguishes the activities of a merchandising and a manufacturing firm. So, activities lang naman yung nakapresent. In a merchandising firm, their activities, routine activities are only focused on buying the finished product and selling the finished product. It's three, buying and selling. But when it comes to manufacturing, they will buy or acquire or purchase raw materials and transform these raw materials into finished goods. So that is the main activity of a manufacturing firm. But focus tayo doon because we are talking about manufacturing costs and then manufacturing costs for now. Okay. So, in that case, usually what we see in a merchandising firm financial statement, sorry, natatakpan ko ba? Okay. So what we usually see in the current asset of a merchandising firm are these ones, no? But I am particular with the merchandise inventory. They only have one inventory account, that's only merchandise inventory. But when it comes to a manufacturing firm, ayan, these companies do have 3 inventories in their balance sheet or their statement of financial position. These are paulit-ulit, raw materials, and finished goods. So if later on you decided to come up with a feasibility study that is buying and trading, buying and selling, that's trading, no? I should only be seeing merchandise inventory in your financial statement. But when you will be a manufacturing company, I should see 3, or I should see at least 2, okay? Kahit wala si working process, okay lang. Because definitely, if you're in a restaurant, when you start cooking a dish, you will end up finishing it. Wala naman yung halfway done, no? Yung uncooked na menu. Okay, so you will finish it eventually. So I should be seeing a raw material and a finished goods in your paper. Okay. So there. What are direct materials? This slide only emphasizes the definition and a clear-cut definition of direct materials, labor, and overhead. Yun lang yung pinipresent niya. So materials waiting to be processed, that's under raw materials. Okay? Materials waiting to be processed. If it is processed already, definitely, it's part already of your finished goods. Raw materials that is forwarded to the next process will fall under work in process. Okay, these are partially completed products. Okay, yeah, those are work in process. In your context, parang hindi pa kayo CPA, no, pero you are a CPA in transit. Ayan, in transit, CPA in transit. But definitely you'll get there. I believe so. Ayan, so work in process, CPAs. You should claim that. Otherwise, you won't be. Okay. Kidding aside, now, the income statement, so I have presented the balance sheet a while ago where the inventories will be listed. And in the income statement, you have here a difference of an income statement of a merchandising and a manufacturing firm, particularly to the manufacturing cost and the cost of goods sold. So the manufacturing company, the manufacturing cost and the cost of goods sold. So for a merchandising company, this is always the formula, no? For you to compute for the cost of goods sold, The beginning inventory is on the top. You add the purchases that is goods available for sale. So the sum of the two, the beginning inventory and the purchases that is goods available for sale. You should be familiar with that one. From the goods available for sale, you deduct the ending inventory, you will come up with the cost of goods sold. Okay? This is in good format. And this is what we are using in the industry. Hindi tayo taking account sa industry. But for the sake of the board exam, to save some time, the T account will save us. I will also be telling you the tips how to use the T account later on relative to this topic. And for a manufacturing firm, this is in good form. Then the presentation. So you have your beginning goods inventory, it's the same. Beginning. Then you have to add cost of goods manufactured, but the question is how to compute for the cost of goods manufactured. So we'll deal with that later. Then the beginning inventory plus the cost of goods manufactured, you have your goods available for sale. If you have any question, you just raise your hand. And then the ending inventory will be deducted from the goods available for sale for you to come up with your cost of goods sold. Clear so far? So this is how we present our answers if our teachers will be asking for your answer in good form. Okay, there should be a detail. Okay, and then the figure column. Maybe have a quick check again. Whether you understood the formula there, beginning inventory plus purchases. I don't know, wala po siya. Yeah. Purchases and beginning inventory, your purchases will be added, that's goods available for sale. Less your ending inventory, you will come up with your cost of goods sold. Okay. And when we talk about manufacturing firm, you have your beginning merchandise inventory, you add your very well, cost of goods manufactured. The sum of the two is called? Yes, total goods available for sale or goods available for sale. Then you deduct what? Ending inventory, and you will come up with the cost of goods sold. Thank you very much. Antayin natin na ma-restore yung ating question. Okay? So start your tools. Make them work. Your tools, I mean your calculators, basic calculators. Okay, so let's read the question. If your inventory balance at the beginning of the month was 100, you bought 1,000, you bought 100 during the month, and sold 300 during the month as well. So what would be the balance at the end of the month? The answer is 800. Okay, very good. So how was it considered? It's this one. But if your instructor would ask you to write your solution in good form, you will have to. So beginning, you add the purchases, minus the ending inventory, then you have your cost of goods. Question in the computation? So far, wala pa. So schedule of cost of goods manufactured, what only highlighted in this slide is the schedule always do have an information regarding the three costs. Okay? The three costs. Magsasawa po tayo kay direct materials, kay labor, and then manufacturing overhead. And this cost calculates the this schedule, it calculates the manufacturing cost associated with goods that were finished during the period. Okay? It is associated associated with the goods finished at the end of the period. Remember ha, hindi yung finished at the beginning of the period. That's the schedule of cost of goods manufactured. Okay? This is a flow chart, pero hindi kasi magkasya sa isang slide. Kaya series of slides and mga 3 or 4 slides presenting the product cost flow from the raw material up to the finished goods. Okay, so this one, it deals with the raw materials. So take a look at the formula. Beginning raw material plus the raw materials purchased. Laging ganun yun. Okay? You have your raw materials available for use in production. The raw materials available for use in production always include 2. The beginning raw materials and your raw materials purchase. Always remember that. Because later on, when there are problems that you will have to compute for the raw materials purchase and then ang given lang, you will have to squeeze it back. Okay? So deduct the ending inventory, you have your raw materials used in production. So, for working the raw materials used in production in the working process, okay. Pag pinorward mo siya sa ating working process, we'll add the direct labor and the manufacturing overhead for us to come up with the total manufacturing cost. So, ang total manufacturing cost that we are talking about is the total raw materials used in production, that is direct materials, plus your direct labor and your manufacturing overhead. Okay, that's a total manufacturing cost. And the sum of the two is what we call conversion costs. Okay, the sum of the direct materials and the direct labor, we call it
Prime cost.
prime cost. Nagaling nyo naman. Okay. So now we proceed with the total manufacturing cost from the flow chart or from the cost flow. From the total manufacturing cost, we add it to the beginning work in process inventory. Then we have a total work in process for the period. Just raise your hand if you have any question. Then, okay, from the work in process, you have your beginning, you add your manufacturing cost, less your ending, that's the cost of goods manufactured. So, definitely, if what is being asked is the manufacturing cost, you total the 3, the sum of the 3. If what is being asked is the cost of goods manufactured, do not forget to include the work in process beginning and ending. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. Yeah, and then from the finished goods inventory, the beginning finished goods, you add the cost of goods manufactured, deduct the ending, and you have your cost of goods sold. This is the format in good form. In good form. To save you in the board exam, I would highly recommend you use the T account of these inventory accounts. No? Since it is an asset account, the beginning inventories are always on the debit side. There. Always on the debit side. And the ending inventory is always on the credit side. Never ever forget that. Okay? It is an asset account. The beginning is always on the debit side. The ending is always on the credit side. Do not ask me with that, no? That's a basic analysis. Mag-inventory naman na and raw material naman. Di ba siya balance sheet? Di ba debit yun? Balance sheet o mga galing na talaga. Okay? You always focus and analyze well that since these are an asset account, the beginning is always on the debit side. And then from the raw materials account, your purchases of raw materials is always on the debit side. Yan. May I ask again, if you total these two, you will come up with what? Total raw materials used in production. Okay, total raw materials used in production. If we will deduct the ending inventory from that, we will come up with the raw materials used in production, or simply we call it direct materials. Yeah, manufacturing overhead. These are your manufacturing costs. You add your beginning, deduct your ending, you will come up with your very well. Cost of goods. Yeah, cost of goods manufactured. From the home chart again, i-forward mo siya dito sa finished goods the account. So cost of goods manufactured, you add your beginning, deduct your ending, you will come up with cost of goods sold po. Yeah, cost of goods sold. Your goods available for sale is the sum of your beginning and then your cost of goods manufactured. Please do not get confused. Yeah. Then the beginning, cost of goods manufactured, less your ending, you will have your cost of goods sold. That will save you during the board exam. That's the sum of the comprehensive illustration, the cost flow presented a while ago. Okay? So this is now your manufacturing cost flows. You have the cost and then to which statement do they end up recorded. Okay? So you have cost of materials purchases, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, and then the selling and administrative expenses. Yan. So, saan papasok ang ating materials purchases, ang ating direct labor and manufacturing overhead? Definitely, they will all fall under the balance sheet accounts. But, take a look. Okay, materials purchases, pupunta siya sa raw materials. Labor and manufacturing overhead, papasok lang siya sa working process. You will add the raw materials and definitely you have your manufacturing costs. Okay, so finished goods, sa balance sheet yan. Cost of goods sold, walang question dito, it will fall under income statement. What else? It also includes selling and admin costs. So mga period costs po ito, these are all product costs. Quick check. Dahil quick check, para mag-enjoy kayo. And then you have a lot of practice. Okay. So let me read the question and then again you raise your answer if your answer is correct. And if not, you put it down. Just kidding. Just raise your answers later on. Beginning raw materials inventory was 32,000. Okay? During the month, 276,000 of raw materials was purchased. So we have the given 32,000 and 276,000. Account at the end of the month revealed that 28,000 of raw material was still present. What is the cost of direct materials used? So anong account ang gagamitin niya? The account of the raw materials. Just plug in, you add, you deduct the ending, you will come up with your direct materials used. Your answer is? Letter C. Kapag very proud na i-raise sa akin ng mga sagot kung tama. Si Miss Beverly, anong sagot mo? Letter? Letter C. Okay. You may put it down. Thank you very much. At natututo kayo. Next one. Another quick check. Another quick check. Okay, what is being asked is the total manufacturing costs, correct? Yes. Okay, total manufacturing cost this time. So try to plug it in your key account. Your total manufacturing cost will be the total of
direct material investment.
okay. Tignan natin kung tama yung sinabi nyo. What is being asked is the total manufacturing costs. Direct materials used in production, 280,000. Direct labor, 375,000. Factory overhead was 180,000. Your total manufacturing cost is
835,000.
Very well. Questions so far? Wala pa. Thank you. Lumabas na yung sagot agad. Okay, but this one, parang hindi ko sayang yung slide. Okay? Let's go over the problem. Beginning working process was 125,000. Manufacturing costs incurred for the month were 835,000. There were 200,000 of partially finished goods remaining in working process inventory. What was the cost of goods manufactured? Cost of goods manufactured. Sige, let's wait for the other side. See, I know you are done computing because you have a calculator. The answer is 760,000. Okay, very well. Now, before we proceed as to whether we met our objectives or not, last question, do you have question? So there is none. So everything is clear. Okay. So we go back to our objective a while ago, which is to identify the different costs and cost curves. Did we meet that? Yes. What about the explanation of these various cost curves? Were we able to meet that? Yes. And the third objective is to answer problems related to cost curves and applications. Did we meet that? Yes. Okay, thank you very much for participating. Now, before we separate ways, do you have anything to say? Somebody says thank you, ma'am, and somebody says none, ma'am. Okay, thank you for your responses. It signifies that you're all awake at this point. No? Ayan. So, I'll be distributing your assignments. You please answer them based on the instruction. Okay? So, answer them based on the instruction. Get one and pass, please. There. So those are your assignments. You read the instructions very carefully and submit it on the next meeting. And what to expect for the next meeting? I'll be giving you 20 points summative assessment relative to what we have discussed. And of course, we will be proceeding to the next lesson, which is on planning and analyzing the cost behavior based on the given scenarios later on. So those are what to expect on the next meeting, and thank you very much for coming. You may have your break for this day.